Right now I'm going to show you how I created a logo for my Let's Play series, which involved layering shapes. And this is great for layering. This works for text boxes, images, pictures, shapes. It's all just about layering pieces over the top of one another. Sort of like poker chips. If you had red and black poker chips and you were layering them on top of each other, or pieces of paper, and you wanted to fan them out and you wanted them in a particular order, would want to put some front and back, you can do the same thing in PowerPoint. I'm going to select my entire logo that I made for my Let's Play series, and I'm going to paste it with Control V into this blank slide that I've created, and I will take it apart for you to show you that it is just layered shapes and text boxes. All I did was create circles using the Insert Shape Circle tool and inserted text boxes, several of them, obviously, to create a layered effect with the text. And this is how layering works. So for example, I made these circles and I basically copied one, made it a little bigger, slightly irregular, and then I changed the colors by going up to drawing tools, but in this case you can also just right click on it and change the colors this way, and pick the slightly lighter inside than outside just to give it a little more definition. So that's how I created those, and then I simply layered them in a fun little pattern. And layering works like this. I will take the largest ones and put them over the top of one another. Okay, now obviously the blue one is not at the top layer. It is somewhere in between. And if we just bump it down, you can see it's actually behind the green one. So this is the backmost circle. So if you're picturing it vertically, the blue circle's on the bottom, the green one's in the middle, and the purple one's on top. So to bring it forward on this stack, you simply right click on its boundaries here and go bring to front. And if you hover over bring to front and send to back, you notice that you can either do it all at once and bring it to the front, the very front, the topmost stack, or you could put it in between by saying send backward or send forward. You could take incremental steps in the layering instead of jumping straight to the front or straight to the back. So for example, if I bring this forward, now that blue circle is between the purple and the green. And if I bump it down, you can see that that's true, or bump it up. Now it's sitting between the purple and the green. But in this case, because it's so small, I would like to bring it all the way to the front, so I will just click on bring to front. So that is basically how layering works. I'll do it one more time. This red one is not in front of the blue one. It's actually at the very back as well. It's behind the green. And if you're ever wondering where it is, you can always just slide it up and down with your arrow key, select it, bump it up and down until you see it, and then figure out which one it's behind. And this one you can see, since you can see the edge of the green, you know it's absolutely at the bottom of this stack. So I want to center it in the blue circle, which you can just do with its boundaries without actually seeing it. And then I'm just going to bring it to front. So when you're making a layered effect like I did with the logo, you want them to hide and peek out and be prominent in different ways. So immediately when you put it together, it might look like this. But maybe I want the blue one over the top of the purple and the red. I'm going to bring it to front. And now it's sitting on top. And maybe I want the green one to be on top of the purple. And you can play with layering bit by bit and see which way comes out the best for you. So that is layering. And again, it works for images, shapes, and pictures. Another way you can layer is with text boxes, which I did here. I created this and then I layered it over the top like so. You can see that's actually interesting because it's between layers. You can kind of see how the layering works there. And bring it to front. And now it's sitting on top, but it's not well enough defined from the other colors. So what I'm going to do, what I did was created additional text boxes. and layered them behind the yellow but in front of the circles. So if you picture it like layers again, we actually have like 7 layers now. And I just want to drop it just behind the top layer, which is the yellow letters. So I'm just going to right click, hover over send to back, and send it backwards. Now it's just behind the letters but not behind the circles. So now I can shadow it that way from the right, and then I'd also like to shadow it from the left so that the letters have front and back definition. And you can see this one is tucked behind the circle. So first I'm going to bring it to front, and then I'm going to send it one step backwards so it's on top of the circles but behind the yellow text box. Ta-da! And then I scoot it over and it's sitting on top. Now what I normally would do, because these are all individual pieces and I want to move it to the top, here's what you would do. You grab out to the right or left or wherever and grab it all together. Right click on one of the circles, go down to group, and then group. Now what you've done is you've taken each of these incremental pieces and you've made it one solid piece so that you can move it as one unit. Now say you got it up here and yep, the spacing's all wrong. The purple and the green are way out of line, and say I wanted to maneuver those 2 circles. I would right click, go to group, and then ungroup them. So now they're back in their original pieces. Go and select that green circle and drop it down so that it's outside of the border of the header. And you can grab the purple one and bump it up. And now it's inside. And now again, to preserve it in its shape, I'll select it all, get on one of the circles in the corners, right click, hit group, group. Now again, it's one image. And you can actually save it as an image file as well. If I wanted to use this logo in other places, like a letter or some other graphic, I could right click on it, click Save as Picture, and then choose a file type. I would always choose JPEG. It's the most universally acceptable. And then create a folder maybe for logos, and double click it and put in a picture, then put Let's Play. And now it's saved as an image file. So if I wanted to insert it later as an individual image, just like a regular picture, I could do that. And that is how you create a logo and layer and save as a picture.